Welcome to the Junction. I'm Ardmore Leader News Director Michael Dean Smith, and this week we are speaking with Scott Stahl, an Ardmore business owner who is now going to be running for the Ardmore City Commission Ward 1 seat, currently occupied by Mayor Nancy Shulin. So, Scott, thanks for dropping by the Junction this week.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing me in.
So, just if you don't mind, we'll get started off. Briefly introduce yourself, but also tell us kind of what makes you qualified to occupy a seat on the City Commission for the next 3 years.
Yes, thank you. Hey, my name is Scott Stahl. Hey, I moved here in 1980. We lived in Ardmore on D Street over there. I went to school in Lone Grove, and I graduated from SOTC out there, which is now called Southern Tech. You know, they just changed names and everything. But, you know, I've lived here. I've operated a business in Ardmore for 36 years. I started at an auto glass shop in 1992 in downtown Ardmore called Mr. Auto Glass, and we stayed there for 10 years. And we kind of left downtown when Stauffer Brothers Hardware store closed, when Lowe's opened up and everything downtown was kind of dying. It wasn't worth having a service shop downtown anymore.
Okay.
But yeah, you know, I've been happily married for 27 years to my wife, and I live on the Northwest Side. I've lived in the same house since 1990. So I am qualified to run. I am a registered voter here in the Ardmore, and I vote every election, you know, so let me run.
When looking at the City Commission, you said you've already been here for over 40 years now. When you're thinking of what a successful City Commission would be, how would you define successful City Commission? And specifically, what would your role be on a successful City Commission?
So the City Commission exists of members from Ardmore, 4 different quadrants, and 1 commissioner at large.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 5 commissioners there. That way you can't have a tied vote. You always have somebody to fix it as long as you have a quorum.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I live on the Northwest Side. We have pending issues on the Northwest Side that aren't being addressed. And, you know, I'm just trying to get out there and see, and maybe I can be part of the solution or whatever. But, you know, 12th Street is our central business district now, and we're having traffic snarls there, you know, right in front of Walgreens. There was an accident there. So instead of the city being proactive and getting ready for growth there and fixing the roads and everything, they're reactive. There was an accident in front of Walgreens, so they put these little yellow cones out there, and that's their solution to fix the road. Mm-hmm. You know, the solution should have been, let's widen that road in the past. Their solution is, you know, I live on the Northwest. The tree streets always get flooded out. We're talking about Ash Street and Cottonwood Street, and the streets back in there. Mm-hmm. You know, them people have been part of Ardmore since 1953. Can we not find a solution and fix the drainage issues over there? You know, Ardmore's a great town. Let's all work together and bring new insights into Ardmore.
So, well, going back to my question, though, what would make, in your eyes, a successful City Commission? Something that is just a commission that's getting things done. You had mentioned about proactive versus reactive before we started. Is something like that what you would consider a successful or just an engaging City Commission?
Yes, it would. I mean, you have 5 members on the board. Each one of them, 4 of them represent a certain quadrant in Ardmore.
Right.
You know, we all get together, as city commissioners, they all get together now and they vote yes or no for things. So 3 is a majority.
Right.
You know, there's certain things that's happened in Ardmore we see, like the culvert house being tore down. That Ardmore should have probably got somehow that property put on Historic Preservation Board. And that property should have been left maybe as a office district, and maybe not tore that house down, because, you know, you're taking stuff from Ardmore. Mm-hmm. History that's never going to be here again. But let's all the commissioners work together. We have a finite amount of money. We have terrible roads. You know, we have infrastructures in place, but we have other infrastructure that needs to be replaced. Mm-hmm. And surely there's a solution there, you know. I just hope that Ardmore continues to move on, and that's why I want to run, to make Ardmore great again.
So you had briefly touched on the 12th Avenue corridor there. We've got new construction going on there. We've got new construction along Commerce, up on Rockford. But in the same sense, here in the Depot District downtown, we've got vacant storefronts. We've got neighborhoods in Ardmore that have dilapidated housing. If you're elected, what would be your focus with that? Would it be rehabbing and reusing existing buildings and storefronts? Or would you want to see more focus put on the new construction and things like that?
So Ardmore exists in different quadrants. Downtown Historic District, I mean, let's just face it, Walmart wouldn't be able to come in here and tear down the whole downtown and build a new Walmart. That's the central business district. Mm-hmm. But it's not, because wherever Walmart is in a small community, that's where your local business district is. That's where your majority of your sales tax money comes from. You know, so there wouldn't be a way you could really restore all these buildings downtown. Having a restaurant downtown and several different restaurants over here in the Depot District are great. There's plenty of parking over there. The issue is, it's always been my problem as I'm driving down Main Street here. They want to now maybe make it two-way and have green grass in the middle of it. Right now, you drive down Main Street and you have issues about having to stop. The middle lane's taken over by a UPS truck or a FedEx truck. So it's kind of a nightmare. Why aren't the FedEx trucks and UPS trucks on the alley streets? It's just one of them little things.
Okay.
But it is, we live in a small community and not everything can be addressed.
Sure. Well, talking about some things that can be addressed, you've mentioned that you would be representing the Northwestern Ward. We've got neighborhoods, not only in the Northwest, but all across. Are there any neighborhoods in particular that you think might be being overlooked when it comes to things like development and especially revitalization? And if there are specific neighborhoods that you think are being overlooked, how should City Hall approach working both in these neighborhoods and for these neighborhoods? Well,
in certain areas in Ardmore, the northeast side has been kind of neglected, and so has the southeast. That's why over there is a area over there that's underdeveloped, and so the federal government allows them, if you invest money on the southeast over here, you can get tax abatements. You can, for so long. The housing in Ardmore needs to be addressed because there's not enough lower income housing available. You take a little home that is barely standing. They probably need to be redeveloped. But you've had somebody living in a home for 40 years. Now you have 2 cars. The old home wasn't designed for 2 cars in the driveway. And so the city of Ardmore, their approach is, okay, if you park on the grass, come out and leave a yard sign. Maybe the approach needs to be more proactive rather than reactive, and walk up to that house and knock on the door and say, hey, don't park in the grass because it's a nuisance. When you back out, you may run somebody over. But if you go in certain neighborhoods, there are no sidewalks. There's no infrastructure there that was ever built. The homeowners never put it in to build a home that was cheap enough so somebody can move into it. But the average person that's making minimum wage can never afford to move into a home that's $200,000 home. So the average new homes being built in Ardmore, or I think it's $120,000. That's going to be, what is it? Maybe $1,000 a month mortgage payment plus property tax.
Sure.
So you've already made it bad, and this is everywhere in America. The poorer people will never have the opportunity maybe to purchase a home. So it's terrible. But Ardmore needs to do something about housing. Another thing we need to do is that, there's a lot of homeless people here. It's an issue everywhere in America. We need to get everybody together, people from the churches, people from nonprofits, people from the city, and figure out a solution, because there's nothing wrong about being homeless. But when you're pushing a shopping cart around Ardmore and have no place to go at night, and you just set up in a vacant lot and set your camp up, and then you do all your other stuff right there, it makes it look bad in Ardmore. So maybe there's got to be a solution there, and let's work with it and figure out a solution.
Okay. Talking about working and finding those solutions, I think everybody's heard the statement, no man is an island, so those groups are important. Do you think that Ardmorites are engaging enough with not only local government, but civic organizations, different groups? And how would you plan on engaging with constituents if you were elected to the city commission?
Well, the main thing is you have a lot of different boards in the city of Ardmore. What you need to do is reach out to new people and get some new ideas on the boards. It seems like the people that are on member boards for the city of Ardmore, it's the same people. And so, so your new ideas never get to the boards. But we need to engage everybody. You don't have to have a car to be a member of Ardmore. You can ride a bicycle to be a member of Ardmore. You can drive a car. You can walk in Ardmore. But maybe Ardmore needs to do, maybe we need to do like a town hall meeting in each one of the 4 quadrants and talk to the residents. Talk to the city of Ardmore changed a few years back their bylaws or whatever. We're no longer citizens called, we're freeholders. So why don't you engage all the freeholders rather than just a few? That's what needs to be done, is bring everybody in to involved and help fix solutions in Ardmore.
You had mentioned doing like neighborhood ward town halls. How often would you like to see something like that done? Once a year, once a month? Like, what kind of frequency do you think people need to be getting engaged so those ideas can stay fresh on the minds of the various board members? And
Well, just do it. I mean, I don't know, every 3 months or so. There's no real solution. I mean, you can convey a town hall meeting, on a particular problem, and that'll bring people in that are interested in it. But you're not going to get all the views out there because most people think, well, whatever's done behind the closed doors is a done deal, and that's not the way people should think. They should think, if I get involved, things will change. If I don't get involved, things will never change. So every citizen here, every freeholder in the city limits of Ardmore should be engaged in what happens in the city of Ardmore. I mean, let's face it, nobody wants to take their kids or grandkids to Central Park anymore. Why? It doesn't make any sense. It's a nice park. What's the reason we can't go down there? We're held hostage because there's people walking around pushing a shopping cart with all their belongings, and they're camped out on a park bench. Can we not help these people? What are we missing, But that's why maybe we need to get some more people involved and tell us what we're missing.
Okay.
This is Ardmore. Let's make it great again. Let's all get together and work together.
And then finally, is there any last plea that you would make to voters coming up before April 1st?
Get out and vote. April 1st is going to be a great time to tell to leave a lasting impact on Ardmore. Ardmore, April 1st, Ardmore City Schools wants to build a brand new high school for $146 million. That's going to increase everybody's property taxes by 9%. That's going to make affordable homing maybe less, because now if you're paying $1,000 a month for rent now, it's got to increase by 9%. So it's going to affect even the poorer people, But that's one of the things, on that election is also the city commission election of the Northwest side. So, there's other things on that ballot. So get out and vote April 1st. Make your voice known.
Scott Stahl, running for Ardmore's Northwest Ward 1 Commission seat, coming up on April 1st. If you want more information about Scott Stahl and his campaign, you can visit him on Facebook. Just search Scott Stahl, SCOTT STAHL. Scott, thanks for dropping by the Junction this weekend. Good luck with your campaign.
Thank you for letting me in. Thank you.
You're listening to this podcast, and so are a lot of other people in Southern Oklahoma. Ardmore Leader is about one thing: local. Local news, local events, and local business. So don't just buy another ad. Invest in your business. 319-9688 or visit ardmoreleader.com. Work with Ardmore Leader today, and let's find new ways to tell your story to a local audience.